There are also, according to that report, a lot of benefits potentially for taxpayers. How so?
Well, what we know is that in the juvenile system, the recidivism rates are lower and the revocation rates are lower. So typically, of course, for a misdemeanor, individual would go on probation. And so a revocation occurs, of course, when the individual fails probation and therefore is incarcerated. And so that simply happens less in the juvenile system. So therefore, over the long haul, the cost-benefit analysis indicates this would actually save money for taxpayers. The other aspect of this is the rate at which sexual abuse and physical abuse occurs is much higher in adult facilities. When you take a 16, 17-year-old, and this is data from across the country, they're raped at a far higher rate, for example, in adult lockups, where they're often very vulnerable to older, more hardened inmates, and frankly, even to staff as well. So there's a lot more protections. There's better ratios of staff to inmates, better monitoring and things in juvenile facilities. So that's another aspect of this as well.
In addition to the offender, him or herself, and the taxpayer, that report also mentioned, and I'm sure that you have a lot of interest in just an overall benefit for society in changing this perspective of treating 16 and 17-year-olds, especially for misdemeanor crimes, as juveniles instead of adults. For society in general, is this just a better way to go?
Yeah, well, one of the aspects of it is, of course, under the current situation, a 16-year-old who, commits a misdemeanor, which is obviously, not to belittle it, because any crime is serious, but something that, because it's a misdemeanor, is something that is typically a minor property offense, shoplifting or that sort of thing, that if they had done that in another state where 16-year-olds are considered juveniles, then they wouldn't have this on their record when they're applying for college, when they're applying for a job many years later. So it really does, the current law, put North Carolina youngsters at a disadvantage relative to those in other states.